joining me here at a lovely lake in the UK here in early April, and I just thought I'd give you a little bit of information on my general fishing and how my seasons progress and go along, and obviously my different choices of bait. Like we're here now early April, I like to if I can get the chance to go abroad before our season starts in Denmark, just because it's usually very, very cold at home, and at this time of year we can have sometimes ice and water temperature will usually be 5-6 degrees, so fishing can be a little bit grueling, and not because it needs to be easy or anything, but I just like to sort of get, you know, a little bit of springtime early by going abroad. So obviously here we are, and it's so lovely. Obviously everything's starting to turn green and birds are lively and you can hear them chirping and different things, so it's an absolutely amazing feeling coming over here. And we've also managed already to catch a few fish, so that's absolutely amazing. But so for this time of year, I tend to go with the cold water base mix with the green beast, just because it's such a good winter bait. Fish really like it. I've done very well on it here at home, France, you know, a lot of different places I've brought it, so it catches more or less everywhere, and it's a known bait. A lot of people have obviously known it, heard about it, and a lot of fish know it as well. I can definitely say so. No, happy with that, and I'll use that at home as well at this time of year. And then as we start even going into early to late May, when we might do a French trip or something like that, even though the water's warmer, it does very well. It's not just a cold water bait, you can use it all year round really. I wouldn't, you know, if I was to have a gun to my head and say, all right, you need to use one bait, what is it? That would be it for me. Luckily we're not there, so as soon as we start to get into warmer periods of time, you know, when we start to go into autumn time, when I usually generally start my fishing again, I'll take a break over the summer after the fish have spawned. I will use the new Crustazia. I've had a hand in helping out with developing that, so that's maybe one of the reasons I like it as well, but it is very, very good. It's a very soluble bait made with quality products. Contains absolutely no fish meal, just crustacean meals and milk proteins. Very, very good bait. And I think that we've seen on the testing and where we've used it as on big lakes at home and in France, that it competes very well with naturals. Obviously on the big lakes, fish are not yet used to seeing boilies and stuff like that, and they really, really like that bait. So that's definitely my favourite for big baiting campaigns as well back home, and when I'm going to the big lakes on France, that is my go-to bait. And then when we start to go into the colder months, if I'm having a late trip to France, let's say maybe November, December, I will then go back to the cold water mix again, just obviously for the solubility, digestibility and stuff like that, because you never know what type of weather you're going to arrive to. In France we've had December trips where it's been mild, and we've had December trip where it's been cold, but with that bait you know that you can catch in different water temperatures. It's not going to be an issue even if it goes really, really cold. And a little bit about my my approach to things. Obviously everything is different, there's no rules for that, but let's say we arrive at a lake like here, I would try to fish bottom baits most of the time. That's my favourites. Hard hook baits usually. I know they're going to be situated on the bottom nicely. They can stay out there for like 24 hours, so I can leave it, it's not going to be an issue. And then a scattering of baits around it. I will rarely fish pop-ups, only if I'm forced into it. That can be over weed, situations like that, or if I'm fishing a single, I'll be using that. But generally bottom baits, not even wafters. So the hard hook baits, I like them. Size-wise is again different. Over here there's not so many nuisance fish, so I'll be using 12 and 15 mil baits. At home I'll probably be using 22s, 24s as hook baits as well, and freebies. In France on the big lakes that could be 2 24s, even 3 24s, really different. So the most important thing is for me is just to get the natural presentation that you can with the bottom bait and a scattering of bait around it. So I'm not a big particle angler as well. I like boilies. I find that does me really, really well, and that's the cold water mix. And at the moment for my summer fishing and warmer water fishing is the Crustazia.